So, stress, anxiety, overwhelm. You know what? I have for years now called myself a stress and anxiety coach. And the funny thing is, I have just come to realize that it's funny because at the core of it, I'm actually a relationship coach. Isn't that funny? I've always thought of myself as like a health coach, mental health, emotional health, all of these things, right? Like your self care. But it's funny because I really am a relationship coach because why do we have so much stress? Why do we allow this anxiety to take over in the first place? Yes, partly because, society, we're raised in this toxic hustle mentality, never enough, go, 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 go. But at the deep core of it all, it's the relationship with ourselves. We don't do proper care, self care, because either we don't have enough self worth, we put ourselves last. Again, our self worth is low. People pleasing, we're putting ourselves behind other people. Self worth is low. Not giving ourselves the respect that we should, choosing to, put everyone else first, whatever it might be. Our confidence is lacking. We don't know how to say no because we don't have the confidence to say no. Um, a lot of Boy, I hope that's not my car. There's a car honking outside. Hope you can't hear that. And so a lot of it really does come down to the relationship with ourselves. And I know I had a big aha moment with I'm working with a content storytelling coach. And honestly, like she's so amazing. So shout out to Jennifer Grant. She's great. And she made me realize like I am a relationship coach. And even at the core of my backstory, I've always felt, oh well, the biggest aha moment was, I'm sitting on the corner of my bed and just like, God, is this life? Like this can't just be life. It has to be better than this. But I subconsciously would not acknowledge the real reason I got to that point, the actual underlying thing. And I've said, oh, haha, I've always joked, I don't know how my boyfriend stayed with me. But that's it. The real underlying thing that even till this past week, I wouldn't acknowledge is I was terrified of losing my boyfriend. I was pushing him away. I knew this. And I joke again in a lot of some of my content, in some of my videos and stuff. I would joke with like, if I treated myself like that, I wouldn't have stayed with me. I've said that quite often before, never acknowledging that that's the real underlying thing. That's why I needed to make these changes is I knew I was really afraid he was going to wake up one day and be like, you are too much, you are too crazy, like too controlling. i I can't anymore. We've seen it in TV a ton, we've seen it in the movies, and that's the real thing. So why did I make that journey? Why did I get my stress, anxiety, overwhelm all under control? Because I didn't want to lose him. And that makes me a relationship coach. Fun fact. So I am going to start talking about more about that side of it, that piece of it, really digging deep. It's so important because we have to love ourselves enough and have enough self love and self worth to schedule in that self care, to know that we deserve those good things. We have to have the confidence to set the boundaries, to keep the boundaries. We have to have the willpower. And again, it is confidence to take control of those emotions, the self worth to do the work. It's all tied in. So I am going to talk a little bit more on that stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's all stress, anxiety, and overwhelm related. I am still dealing with all of that, but it's a big bowl that I'm stirring here. So yeah, just to let you guys know. Let me know what you think about that. If you've kind of had some ahas yourself with that, or you've realized like, holy crap, yeah, that is all related. Wow. If you've just like had a realization like I did. So yeah, we'll talk to you guys later.